Alrighty, sorry I don't have better graphics, but we got the final game of the infamous Delial Reay series, and we're gonna go through it. It's I think part four was the most interesting part of the match. That was the most interesting game. Uh, really topsy turvy. My evaluation switched move by move. I thought Reay was gonna win, then I thought Deli was gonna win, and then it all went to chaos. Um, yeah, so this was the final game of the series. This is coming out after. I will probably just say who won at this point. Um, but I think so. Deli's gonna win. Deli is the second turn player here. Reay is the first turn player. But I think this was a really difficult random. I messed around with some starters and didn't particularly find something better than Reay's starter. He has multiple ways to recapture from one side, one way to recapture from the other side. All of his recaptures involve overpowering, which is potentially vulnerable to combos, of course, but none of them seem likely in practice if you look at the two hands to be comboed, and the fact that he has multiple options that plus wall back when it's a strong corner could prove relevant, though probably not in this specific matchup. But really, Reay's hand is tough. I tried some other starters out, messed around a little bit a little while ago, didn't find anything I liked. Just a tough hand. The two ones to the left are really hard, so you might think, gotta get one of them out of the hand. Didn't see an obvious way to do so. You could start with like 6-3-7-1 in 2, but you don't have amazing recaptures given the 9-1-1-2. I forget what lines I looked at here, but you could imagine something like, and here a 7 is comboed, so you got to take back something like this. And you might end up with some position like this, and this is losing. And my thought was kind of, well, you grab two safe cards, but it doesn't work. Now, that is probably not a win too many opponents will find, and admittedly, the other win is probably not that easy to find either. So quite curious wins here, but you can see this is plussed and this is also plussed, making 8 a kind of trapped square. And if you can't go in 8, start thinking, okay, gotta go in 5, but this is plussed in 8 and this is also plussed in 8, and you start to see where the problems lie. So very, very odd game here. There's a plus on that as well. I was wondering what I was missing there. Yeah. So, very, very peculiar setup. Would be hard to see this loses at distance, right? Like, if you're looking at this position, if you're looking at this starter and you're thinking, okay, they capture, I take back with something I can. All right, they have this, but I have safety here. I have two safe things. I have something vulnerable, but I have two cards that play pretty well towards the action. If you're looking at the starter, hard to tell that loses at distance. But this is just to say, it's actually a pretty tough hand to play, and I think Reay played a good starter, and Deli plays safety. Ooh, it's going to be tough. Now, Reay makes another good move. There might be better here. I didn't explore that too much, but there's certainly nothing winning. So the question is, what's the easiest path to a tie? Blocking the in-between square, you'll notice Deli only has an attack from 6, no attack from 8, so blocking 6 makes tons of sense. And Reay, in fact, is still tied here. He's still doing fine. Deli hits with another move where he just grabs safety immediately. There's still threats in 5. Now, if Deli grabbed 5 immediately, that is potentially vulnerable to plus walls, so some risk there. It does set up 8, so you probably have to block 8 first, but it also, Reay is going to have pretty good sweepers here. In fact, maybe if we just block 8 like this. No, that one doesn't work. That's a tricky card. Alright, solver, I don't want to think. Tell me a tie. Okay, you just take the combo. You walk into this, because at the end, as we all see, this ties. Because weirdly, you have a plus and a plus wall. That's hard to see at distance, too. Alright. So, Deli goes here, grabbing more safety. And here, Reay has one tie. He does not find it. So I do have a challenge for you to find it. And if you want to, you can take a little time to think. It is, I will now start saying what it is one of the first two moves you might think to look at. Now, there's a bunch of things you might think. You might think, okay, Deli's only threat is in 5, so I want to block 5. Ideally, I'd block 5 while setting up some play elsewhere. That's pretty hard to do. All my cards in 5 kind of set up my opponent, except for 6, 7, 3, 1. But any position where they go in 2 here is just going to be really tough. This one apparently loses just a million ways, but no move in 5 works. Reay ended up going in 8 with 6, 7, 3, 1, and 8. Deli has 2 ways to win, and he chose the really elegant way, setting up combos in both 5 and 7. 5, 6, 6, 1 has the same in 5, and 4, 4, 6, 5 has the plus in 7. Now, it looks like Reay has some combo back if he holds on to 2, 4, 7, 5, because that can plus wall in 2 against the combo, but it's the same. It doesn't combo that many cards, and he loses 6, 4. This was a noble defensive try, and Deli punished it nicely. What is the defense? It is to take safety in 2. Which card is to do it, though? It is only obvious if you see the reason that 2 could lose. Or sorry, if you see... Because 2 should lose. And the problem with 2 is 5, 6, 6, 1 lands in 5. And you have nothing for 4. Deli has a big threat in 8. And it's going to be tough for you to take 4, 4, 6, 5. So the key is to play 6, 3, 7, 1, and 2. Such that on this line you can play 2, 4, 7, 5, and 8 at the end. You had to hold on to 2, 4, 7, 5 because it sets up 6, 7, 3, 1 to be able to take 4, 4, 6, 5 in this line. So Deli cannot block that square, and you're going to get a tie. Weirdly tricky tie to find, given that the move is kind of one of the first you look at. I think that it specifically has to be 6, 3, 7, 1, and it's specifically because you can turn a card that doesn't quite sweep into a full sweeper with a plus setup. So that ended the match, and it was... How many games was this match? This was an insane finals. This is by far the longest finals we've had. We've had a match that went longer, maybe 2, but they weren't finals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. That might be just the second longest match already, now I forget. 12-game match, and incredibly, Reay had 11 first turns, which Deli certainly has complaints about, but I think led to a really interesting series. Playing 12 games, really high level, put up the games I recorded, just wanted to include as well the last game of the series. But I think it was a great match, and fundamentally, a lot of matches like this are going to be decided when someone gets a tough random and can't quite make it work. And that's what happened here, where Reay found 2, I think, quite good moves and then couldn't pull out the third really good move. Because fundamentally, with how good Deli's hand was and with the fact that he played great moves and I think was going to make great moves, Reay basically had to make 3 great moves to hold this game. 3 really strong moves to hold this game. Really easy to blow this one. And after having done well many a game, ended up eventually dropping this one. And that's the series. And hope you enjoyed these. I think they were pretty fun games.